Hey there, it's Scott, and it's the end of 2024, so I wanted to try something new, right? So when you try something new, of course, feel free to hate it, right? This is a trading channel. I've talked about literally nothing but trading, but also feel free to like it, and maybe you will, all right? Why am I doing this? Or first of all, why even listen to me? Well, you don't need to listen to anyone, right? You can go to YouTube and listen to whoever you want. It doesn't have to be me, right? And you don't need my advice. You don't need anyone else's advice. I mean, that's the truth. Everything that you need to get everything you want in life is already within you. I know that's deep, but it's also true. However, that said, I have more experience with high performance and how to change lives and how to turn bad into good. I have more experience than I do in trading, right? For trading, I got deeply involved on the rabbit hole in 2004. But I dedicated my life to high performance, how to get from A to B. I started that in 1994. I gave up everything. I gave up all my good grades and all of my pre-law and all of my dreams of getting a real job, all of them gone, thrown in the trash in 1994. And since then, I've thought about how to get better pretty much every single day. So I have all this stuff, okay? I have all this stuff in my mind. And over these decades, I've seen many kids and adults, but I worked with teenagers who wanted to turn pro and wanted to be superstars, right? And I've just seen so many wonderful stories. And I've seen kids walk in that can barely walk and chew gum, even though that's kind of hard. But I've seen kids start from absolute scratch and go from absolutely the top. It's crazy. I mean, the stories I could tell, and maybe I will tell them if you're interested, but I've seen amazing things if I told you would not believe, right? And over the years, all of these years, I mean, there are many common threads and there are many things you can do and I can do right away that actually make a difference. There are common threads to going from A to B, and there are common threads to changing a life. I've seen it, so I thought I'd share. Again, you don't have to listen, but maybe you could learn something, because honestly, the reason I'm telling you is I had to learn. I very embarrassed of who I was as a teenager slash college person, and I needed to learn, right? So that probably turbocharged my desire to get better because I knew I wasn't that great, right? So when am I going to learn? Well, maybe now. And maybe I'll continue to learn, and maybe you can too. All right? So take it for what it's worth. All right? This is what worked for me. Habit number 1, show up. Okay? And I'll pepper these with stories. Maybe you like them, maybe you don't. But when I got good grades my whole life, number 1 in my class for a while. I never got anything but an A until into high school, all through elementary. Blah, blah, blah. Who cares? I was a gifted child. No, it's stupid, right? But I got good grades. Then I got to college, and I was so rebellious and so lost and so stupid. I thought, hey, why don't I not go to class, right? I'm so smart. I don't have to go to class. Look, college is great. I can not go to class. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. But I did stupid things. They just weren't substance related, right? And I decided to do those stupid things. Stupid pranks, stupid whatever, right? And I thought, hey, I can get straight A's and barely go to class. Did it work? No, it did not. You can't do it. I'm not as good as I thought I was. Maybe none of us are, right? But what I learned is you don't have to be great. You don't have to always be on. You don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to be good, right? But you don't even have to be better than average. What I learned, what changed my life, is I just had to show up and try. Just show up. Honestly, just showing up is the first one. And if you show up and actually try to pay attention, I mean, words cannot describe the change, right? You want a tip, maybe it's you're a younger person, or maybe you're a parent, whatever. You want to know, here's a trick, right? Here's a tip. You want to know how to get the best grade in a college class for 5 classes in a row? Because this is what I did. This is my experiment. Does showing up work? That's what I did. I got the highest grade in 5 different classes, none of them related. I once went an entire semester and didn't miss a point in an upper level English class. Woohoo! I'm great. It's not the point of it's not about me. But you know what I did? I showed up every freaking day. I never missed a class. All of that, hey, I'll come here, I'll sleep in. No, show up. I just showed up, right? And it worked. Worked like crazy. So guess what? I show up now. I show up to everything. If I commit, I show up. And it works. The heaviest weight at the gym, as we read in Atomic Habits, is the door, right? Why? Because nobody shows up. The reason we don't get fit, we don't show up. One door is closed. We don't go in. But what we're talking about in this video is what happens if you open the door and just go in. Just show up. Habit 2, create a streak. Now, these kind of go together. They're kind of the same, but it's fun to think about them differently. Okay? What do I mean by create a streak? Here are some examples that I've seen with my own eyes. One of my tennis students, back in the earlier days, one of my tennis students literally never lost a high school match, right? From freshman year to senior year, she never lost a match. 2 state titles in between. The reason she didn't win 4 is because she broke her back and then got more injuries on top of that. She went undefeated, won the state championship, broke her back, came back, won another state championship in doubles, right? Even though she wasn't 100%, and never lost in between. That's one story, okay? Oh, that's kind of a good streak, right? Another student, she happened to lose her freshman year, right? Poor thing. And then she went 50-0. It might have been 52-0. I just rounded it to 50. She went 50-0 her last 2 seasons and won 2 state titles. I think she set the record for least games lost in the state tournament, right? In 4 matches, she lost 7 games. These are the best players in the state, and she wiped them completely out, right? But she was committed. She showed up every single day. She wanted to win every single day. And people say, oh, we've got to play every point. We want to win every point. This was a real person who really did that. She hated losing, right? A point. She wanted the streak. And it worked. She went 50-0 and also went to play for a major school that was number 1 in the country at one point in her career and also went pro. So turned out good for her. Now she's doing absolutely fabulously in her real life. And she knows who she is if she ever watches this. Proud of both of you girls. That was a tender moment. Anyway, now in my life, again, it's not to brag, but examples make it real. As I make this video, I've gotten 10,000 steps in a day, at least, mostly more, 1,553 days in a row. Okay? Haven't missed. Flew to Australia for the trading conference, didn't miss. I was in the terminal, doesn't matter. I walked around the airport, didn't miss, right? So what? Who cares? It's not to pat myself on the back. It's because I want to be healthy. So what am I going to do about that? I know. I'll create a streak. If you create a streak, good things happen. You win tennis matches, but that's not all, right? You learn about yourself. You learn how to compete. You learn how to be consistent. You learn how to show up. Habit 1, right? Streaks accidentally, on purpose, give us stuff we need, as long as we do them honestly and earnestly. Remember the famous Seinfeld, right? A young comedian said, how do I become a great comedian? He said, write jokes 100 days in a row. He didn't say write good jokes. He just said, create a streak. Write 100 days in a row. Guess what? At the end of 100 days, you're a comedian. You can pick anything you want, but create a streak. That's what I do. If it's something I feel very strongly about, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll make a streak. Whatever it is, okay? 30 days in a row means you're a runner, right? You're tired of being out of shape. You want to be a runner? Create a streak. 30 days in a row, you're a runner. Like I said, a streak will leave you better off when it's over, right? And your only thought is, like I have my stupid step streak, right? Is keep the streak alive. Because why? I want to be connected to health permanently. And habit 3, be trustworthy. Of course, be trustworthy. What a weak habit to say. How many people do you know are completely trustworthy? I know how many people I know, and it's a very short list, right? It's a list that I guard with my life, but Most people you meet, most people you see on TV, most people you listen to on YouTube are not trustworthy. They're out for themselves and they'll lie as much as they can to get it. Okay? Don't do that. Be trustworthy, right? Here's one way. If you and I would ever meet for coffee, for dinner, forever, you would never see my phone. Ever. You know what happens when you put the phone on a table? The person dies inside, and so do you. Well, you may not. You might love it. Guess what happens to the other person? They die inside. The most important thing that I can give someone else is my attention. The most important thing you can give, right? And I don't mean to be preachy. I'm just telling you, it's true. The most important thing you can give is your attention. You meet someone, don't turn the phone down. Just put it away. Throw it in a river. It's a sadness machine. You don't need it. Because guess what? When you give people your full attention, they trust you. And they should, because you're trying to be trustworthy. I never show up late. I don't have really stress in my life. I live really stress-free as much as I can. I'm very happy about that. Maybe I'm lucky. There is one thing, though, that I get stressed about, and that's being on time. I'm never late, right? Now, I say never late. Have disasters happen? Yes. I think I tracked in a 12-year period of my teaching career. I think I was late 6 times in 12 years. I think that's way too many, and I'm mortified to even tell you that. But, I mean, I don't care what it is. People say, I'll meet you at 1. I'll show up at 1:07. Not me. If I say 1, it's 1, and I will plan my day to make sure of it. Why? Because I'm obsessive compulsive? No. Because when I say it, I want it to be true. I'm obsessed by it. Why? Because guess what you get, right? I'll say that. I'll finish that in a moment. Furthermore, I listen. I'm really interested. I shut my mouth. I'm talking to you now, right? Obviously monologuing, but I want, if we're together, I want to listen. If I was teaching a lesson, the first thing I do is shut up. I just want to hear what you have to say. Why? Because I'm actually interested, right? And that matters too. But because listening makes trust, right? It's not about me. It's about you, right? I want to be legitimately trustworthy. And I don't lie, even though I could. How was your day? You know, or what did you do the other day when you canceled plans? You could just say, oh, you know, I had to take care of my family. Well, that's fine, and everyone would accept it, but I don't do it. I tell the truth. No, I don't really like going to graduations, right? I've been invited over the years of my teaching career, invited to a lot of graduations, and I went to a lot of them. I don't love them. You know why? Because I don't get to be with the person, right? I always would rather be with the person. If one of my students was graduating, I didn't want to go to a graduation party. I wanted to see them and tell them I'm proud of them, or tell them I wasn't proud of them. No, I would not do that, right? So I don't really love the big gatherings. I don't love to go because there's not a connection there. So I don't. I tell the truth. I don't lie no matter what, right? And if you don't have something good to say, don't say it. Guess what? That works, right? But why? Why this commitment to trustworthy, right? Because you get payoff back. You might get someone in your life that trusts you back. And you can do anything if you trust each other, from a sports team to a business to a friendship to a partnership, right? If you're trustworthy, that habit, and believe me, it takes work. It's easy to not be trustworthy, way easier. But by making a habit of just not lying, be on time, put my phone away, or if I'll be there, I'll be right here. And I am. It changed my life. I mean, the relationships I have, I am so lucky for, because I promise them I'll be trustworthy, and I try to uphold my word all the time, right? Bottom line, there are certain mindsets and tactics that are helpful immediately and indefinitely. I have so many of these, right? I've been thinking about this since 1994, actually before that. I have many more. This could be regular. It's not a trading. It came out of the blue, and I get it. And go ahead and say terrible things in the comments and give me thumbs down, right? And that's fine. I'll tell my students, or I'll talk to myself in a darkened room. But if you do like them, I have so many more. I have so many different habits and stories that I think could be helpful. They've been helpful to others. So it's up to you. Internet, let me know. If not, then this is a one-off, and thanks for letting me talk about it at least. It was fun. All right. Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you have a great one, and I'll be back with a new video soon. Bye for now.